For several years now, I've taken my students through second year Latin by Robert Henle. It's basically a reading of Caesar's Gallic Wars. In exercise 49, question number 3, this year it caused my students quite a bit of trouble. So let's take a look. Et Hannibal et Caesar magnas copias in alienos fines gloriae causae duxerunt. Hic omnem Galliam pacavit, ille autem a Romanis victus est. Alright, let's break this down piece by piece. First of all, anytime you have et showing up in a sentence, for the most part, the first time you see it, that first et is going to mean both. And the second et is going to mean and. So, let's get rid of all that because it's too cluttered. And we're left with et Hannibal et Caesar magnas copias in alienos fines gloriae causa duxerunt. Et means both and, so both Hannibal, subject of the sentence, and Caesar, subject of the sentence. So, both Hannibal and Caesar, what did they do? They led. That's the verb. What did they lead? They led troops. That's the direct object. How many troops? A lot of troops. Magnas copias. And where did they lead those troops? They led those troops in, preposition, into fines, object of the preposition. Fines here means boundaries or territories. What kind of boundaries or territories? Their own? Nope. They led those troops into foreign territories. Alienos fines. And why did they do it? They did it causa gloriae, for the cause of glory. Now here's where the trouble begins. We have this first clause, hic omnem Galliam pacavit, and then we have this second clause, ille autem a Romanis victus est. Okay, I received quite a few different answers from my students here, and there are two problem areas. One is this verb here, victus est, and the other problem is a combined problem of these two demonstrative pronouns. So let's look at the pronouns first. This first sentence, we're going to treat this hic omnem Galliam pacavit as its own sentence. This first sentence says hic, subject of the sentence. What did hic do? Hic pacavit. He conquered. He conquered what? He conquered Gallium. How much of Gallium? Omnem Gallium. Well, only one person that we know of in the ancient world conquered all of Gaul. So we know that this is referring back to Caesar. So how do we translate hic? We actually translate hic here as this man. This man. Or you can just translate it as this. But we'll put it in parentheses, this man. So, this man conquered all of Gaul. Remember that the sentence above says both Hannibal and Caesar led large amounts of troops for the cause of glory into foreign territories. Okay? So these two guys, Hannibal and Caesar. This guy, Caesar, conquered all of Gaul. But that guy, Hannibal, a Romanis victus est. Of course, they leave a lot of the story off. That man, so we're going to translate ille here as that. This man conquered all of Gaul, but that man was conquered. This is passive right here. This is the problem verb, victus est. That man was conquered by the Romans. Yes, he was, after he had occupied Italy for nearly 18 years. Just south of Rome. So it's pretty impressive what he did, but yeah, okay, it's true. In the end, he was conquered by the Romans. Okay, so these guys right here, hic and ille, demonstrative pronouns. They're pronouns because they don't have an adjective after them. They're being used as the subject of these sentences, and they mean this, hic, and that, or this man and that man, or this guy and that guy, or this general and that general. You can add the nouns in. I even had one student responded with the former, referring back to Hick, and the latter. So, both Hannibal and Caesar led large amounts of troops into foreign territories. The former conquered all of Gaul. The latter was conquered by the Romans. That also works. Okay. If you have specific questions about Latin and Greek that you'd like to see answered via video, check out DwayneThomas.com. Send me a comment or a question there, and I could turn it into a video if it's complicated enough, and I can't answer it via email. Be sure while you're here to subscribe to my YouTube channel just by clicking below, and if you want to read my book on how to learn Latin, how to teach yourself Latin, how I taught myself Latin, then check out VIA right there.